Hello everyone, hopefully you're doing pretty well today. My name is Deborah and welcome to my channel, Crafty Chalk Creations. Today's project, I'm going to make a canvas, this is a canvas board. This is a 14 by 18 inch canvas board. I can't remember if I got this at Michael's or at JoAnn's, but anyhow, I'm going to be using that with this transfer called Honey Bee Farm. Now, the color that I'm going to be using, colors I should say, I'm going to be painting my canvas board with Chalk Couture's new color from the autumn collection called Saffron, and I'm going to be using bright white. And this is the inspiration for this project, is this ribbon right here. Now, I will not be using this ribbon in this project. I think it's going to compete with the design, but the colors are, this is the inspiration. I think it's a pretty close. This is dark, a little bit darker, but as soon as I saw this, I fell in love with it, and I thought, you know what? This would make an awesome project. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to use the saffron, and now you're going to need a paintbrush, some water. Yes, you can paint with their chalk paste. All right, and a couple other things I'm using from Chalk Couture will be their power hole punch. So I'm going to punch a couple of holes here. I've got some macrame cord from the Dollar Tree, and I will also be using Chalk Couture's small squeegee instead of the mini squeegee. And I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to show you how you can use the chalk paste to paint a surface. And then after I show you how you can do that, then I will go ahead and pause this video, finish it, and then I'll come back to show you how to apply the transfer. So I've got myself a little jar of water here, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some water on my canvas. I'm just going to brush some on. Kind of prepping the surface here. You don't need it saturated or anything like that, just enough in an area where you can get yourself started here with your paste. Then you just take your brush and put it into your paste. Isn't that a nice mustard yellow color? Great autumn color. And then you just start applying your paste. Now if you need to add some more water, then do that. You can always layer this up. Let it dry and layer it back on a little bit thicker till you get the color and the look that you would like. This is probably going to take me a couple of coats. But that's pretty much all that you need to do. All right, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up, and then I will be right back. Okay, this is in the process of one coat. What I'm doing right now is just taking my brush and trying to smooth out some of the surface. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it, and then I'm going to put on another coat. So I'll be right back. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm applying the second coat, and I'm not putting the water on the canvas because that's going to reactivate the paste there. So I'm just getting my brush a little bit damp, and then I'm putting it into the paste, and I'm applying it to the surface. Now if it seems a little bit drier and thick, then you just get a little bit more water on your brush. I mean, just a little bit. You might even have to tap it off. And then just apply the second coat until you repeat this process until you get it to the depth of color that you would like. So that's what I'm going to do, and then I'll be right back. Okay, this is how it looks after my second coat. I'm going to give it one more coat. That's just my personal preference, and see how that looks. But I do like how that color, and I like how the brush strokes have the lines. If you don't want to use that, you can add more coats or use a wider brush, but I do like how that looks, but I would like to add maybe another 1 or 2 more coats. All right, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do, and then I will be back. Okay, I've got my third coat on there. I think 2 coats might be pretty good. It's a bit darker That is your personal preference, though. So now I'm going to do the transfer, and this is called Honeybee Farm. This is a size C transfer. It's a 12 by 18. So most people like to get the size A and B transfers because they're easier to manage. And I've already pre-fuzzed this to save a little bit of time, but I did want to show you how you can fuzz some of these larger transfers here. All right, here's my fuzzing cloth. What I do is I take my transfer, lay it down sticky side up. These are reusable. That's why you need to add some fuzz to minimize some of the stickiness. All right. And what you do is you take your cloth and you lay it down. Now this is a fuzzing cloth, but if you've got a piece of fabric like towel, t-shirt, sweatshirt, something else, another piece of fabric you want to use, and then you just lay it on top of your transfer that is sticky side up. Okay, you're going to need to do that several times. Now this is with the chalk paste, and this is a freshly painted surface. So what I need to do is I need to wax my surface. Now Chalk Couture has their surface wax, and that is what I'm going to be using, and it's going to take me a little bit to wax this, but if you're not familiar with how to wax a freshly painted surface, and why I'm doing that is to protect my transfer, for one, from peeling up any paint and sticking to the back of my transfer, and two, it also helps with my transfer and adhere to my surface a little bit better. When I say that is kind of fill in a little bit of that texture from the canvas, and it gives it a smoother surface for your transfer to adhere to and for your paste to go on. So all you need to do is just get a towel. You know, this is just an old rag that I had that I cut up. And you just go into your surface wax. A little does go a long way, but I'm going to give this a good waxing. So it is going to take me a little bit. And all you do is you apply it to your surface. You know, you're going to want to do this in sections. And then you can get another cloth or just find a section that does not have any wax on your cloth. And then you just buff. Now you will have a sheen. And how you know if you've buffed enough is when you touch it, if it feels tacky or not. If it feels tacky, you need to buff some more. Now, this is a canvas board. You will still have a bit of texture, but not as much as if you just used it, you know, completely bare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to wax my surface, and then once I've done that, then I will be ready to put my transfer that I've already fuzzed onto my surface and get ready to paste it and put my design on there. So I will be back after I get my surface waxed. Okay, now that I have my surface waxed and buffed, and as you can see, it has a sheen to it. You still have a little bit of a texture to it. There's some areas it does feel a little bit more smooth than others, maybe because I've got more of that painted on there. But it's already waxed and it's buffed. So now we are ready to place our pre-fuzz transfer. Now, you are welcome to measure. For the most part, I eyeball things. I'm not sure if I will measure or not. I have to hold this up so that way I can kind of look at this. I think it needs to be down a little bit lower. But you can measure if you want everything to be exactly precise. You know, like you want so many inches from the top to the bottom. You can do that if you like to. To me, it's just whatever is appealing to the eye. Maybe just up just a hair. All right. I think that's going to be good. Now I'm just going to go over this with my squeegee. Make sure that it is down very well and get out any air pockets. Trying to see right there. You can see that. Sometimes you have those larger spaces that have that silk screen. You can get little air pockets in there. All right, I think that's down pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my bright white paste with my small squeegee. And just get a generous amount on there. Then you apply it to your transfer. I'm just trying to make sure that you've got good, even coverage. I'm going to scrape off some of that excess. I think that's on there pretty well. Set that aside, and now we're going to peel and reveal. Oh, I love this. Oh, I love that. Okay, now I've got an extra towel over here. I'm going to lay this down, sticky side down on my towel, and I'm going to spray it with some water until I can get it to the sink and clean it. Now this project is a little bit more lengthy than usual because I painted the surface. Now if you have an acrylic paint or a household paint in a color that you would like, you could use that also. You don't have to use the chalk paste, but I thought that was a nice color. Now you could leave it just like this. You could frame it. You could put it on an easel to set it. I'm going to make sure that this is going to dry. Here, I'm going to... I don't have my plate. Put my cap on my paste, try to minimize it drying out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little dryer here and just dry this. Make sure it's good and dry because I want to punch holes in the top and thread my cord through. Now, once this is good and dry and cured, I would give it probably about 24 hours to make sure it's good and dry and cured. I will put another coat of wax over this to seal in the paste. I mean, you can use a spray sealer, but because I've got the wax on the back there, I'm just going to go ahead and wax this. I prefer to seal it with wax. Just because sometimes you don't have good ventilation or area, or you don't have proper weather conditions for a spray sealer. So wax it is. Oh, I really like how this turned out. Now that this is dry, at least it feels dry, yeah. Let me see, I do have a pencil here. Like I said, I usually don't measure. Now this is a grid. Now if you got a ruler, you can measure in. You can put your holes wherever you want. But I think that this would look good 2 inches in and 1 inch down. Okay, where's 1, 2, and 1? That's gonna put it right there and right there. Or you could go in a little bit more, but I think with this being a little bit wider of a surface, I think I should about 2 and 1. I don't want it too far down. I want it more up here, which is about 1 inch in. So it's 1, 2, 1. I keep looking over here like 3. 3 and 1. 1, 2. That's going to be about there. 1, 2. That's going to be about there. I got little bits of wax here. Okay, 1, 2, 1. That's going to be or 3 and 1. You know what? I might go with 3 and 1. No, 2 and 1. All right. I decided on 2 and 1. Let me get this lined up as best as I can here. All right, so I've got 1, 2. That is 1, approximately there. I don't know if I can see that. Yeah, a little bit. There's 1, 2. All right, let me see. Can I see those indentations? Yep. All right. So how you use their hole punch. Now this is through canvas board. It will punch through the canvas board. I'm gonna move that squeegee. It's got wet paste on it. And what you do is it's got that hole there. You want to turn it so you can see where you made your little mark, which is going to kind of hard for me to see there. And you really can't go anything further than 1 inch in, because the hole is about, yeah, it's about 1 inch. So you can't go anything deeper than 1 inch. I don't know if you can see that. I've got a little indentation there. And then all you do, let's see if I can zoom this in for you. And all you do is you center that indentation or wherever your mark is. Hopefully you can see that right there. It's hard for me to see right now because I've got this glare. So I'm going to do a little, I don't want to do Sharpie. With the light and everything, I've got glare, so it's hard for me to see. All right, that would be better for me to see. All right, now you can see my spot, and I can see it also. And then all you do is you just squeeze. Sometimes you have to use both hands, but just squeeze. And it punches right through. And there you've got your hole for your cording or your ribbon. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Let me zoom out here. I'm going to line that up. And there we go. And there are the holes. So now that is done, I need to get my cord. Now, You see how it frays at the end? What you need to do is you need to tie it, or not tie it. I don't know why I said that. You need to tape it at the end. All you need to do is get some tape and just kind of wrap it. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. You just wrap it to make it tight, you know, kind of like, you know, an eyelet at the end of your, well, you know, at the end of your shoelace. So, but before I cut this off to do the other end, because I need to make, you know, for a knot, and I don't want it hanging very long. I just want kind of a short here. Okay, and then, because this has got, I'm going to give, all right, where are we at here? For knots, I want to give about an extra foot. Where are my scissors? For knots. I'm going to take this other end so I can thread it through. Okay, now that that is cut, so I probably cut about what, 18, no, 24, 28, 20, 30, I cut about 30, 31 inches. You can do however long that you would like, or however short you would like. So all you need to do is just thread it through. Tie a knot. If you want to put a little glue in there, you can, especially seeing that the ends will fray. You know, get a little hot glue and kind of glue the ends a little bit. I would do that. I don't have my hot glue gun ready. And about center. I'm going to thread that through. I know I've got more cord here than I need it, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. I'm just going to leave that laid down there. If you have some large whole wood beads, you could add that if you want. I don't know what it is. I cannot seem to do this way. All right. Make sure that's good and tight. And then you just want to trim off your excess there. Yeah, I would definitely add a little hot glue to the end, just to kind of seal those ends, so that way your knot doesn't come undone or, you know, fray. And there you go. I love this. I hope you like this project. I know it took a little bit of time. I did pause it quite a few times because I didn't think you wanted to sit here and watch me paint and watch paint dry. So, yeah, I hope this shows you that how you can use a canvas board. You can also use your chalk paste to paint with. You know, wax your surface, how to work with a little bit larger of a transfer. I do. I like how this turned out, and this was my inspiration. You enjoy your day, and thank you so much for watching, and I hope you decide to give this type of project a go. Take care and enjoy your day.